बंद कर दीजिए, मेरे को टीवी नहीं चाहिए। माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जयो गंधर्विक गिरिधारी गौर हरि जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो अनंत देव जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की श्रील प्रभुपाद की पावन गुरुदेव की जय। हरे कृष्ण। अभी हम 15 चैप्टर पढ़ेंगे या बिल्कुल सब लोग साथ में पढ़ेंगे ना। श्री भगवान उवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलं मदशाकम् अश्वत्थं प्रारुरव्ययं छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवेत् अदशोद्रं प्रत्यस्तस्य शाखा पुनः प्रवर्त विषया प्रवाहा अधश्च मूलम् अनुसन्तानि कर्मानुबन्धानि मनुष्यलोके न रूपमस्य ततोऽप्लभ्यते नानुचादिर्न सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेन मूलं सङ्गसस्तेन दृढेन चित्वा ततःपरिमार्गिताप्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तानि भूयः तमेव चदं चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये प्रशत्पुराणि निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा यात्मं विनिवृत्तकामः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्तसुखदुःखसंज्ञे गच्छन्ति अमोदपदम् अव्ययं तद्माशयते सूर्यो शशाङ्को न पावकः यत्कृत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धामं परमं मम शरीरं यदाप्नोति मनश्शस्तानि इन्द्रियाणि कृत्तिसानि कर्षति शरीरं यदाप्नोति यच्चक्षुरुत्कर्षमति तदेश्वरं गृत्वानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धाय वश्यते श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं ग्रहणमेव च उद्दिश्य मनश्चायं विषयानुपशयते उत्क्रमान्तं स्थितं वापि जामि वा गुणान्वितं विबुधानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः तन्तो योगिनश्चैवं पश्यन्ति आत्मनि आस्वितं तन्तोऽपि अक्रमानो नैनं पश्यन्ति यचेतसः यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भाषयते अखिलं यच्चन्द्रांसि यच्चग्नो तेजो विदित्मामकं गायमविश्य च भूतानि यानि माहम् अजोजसः उष्णामि चष्टो सर्वे समो भूत्वा रसात्मकः अहं वैष्णवानो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणानि संयुक्तो गच्छामि अन्नचतुर्विधम् सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो दर्शमितिर्ज्ञानम् अपोहनं च वेदश्च सर्वैः वेदवेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहं वा इमां पुरुष्य लोके क्षरक्षर एव च क्षरक्षता सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमपुरुषत्वन्यः परमेऽग्नि उदारतः यो लोके त्रयन्विष्य विदित्य ईश्वरः यस्माक्षरम् अतितोऽहम् अक्षर अतिचोत्तमः अतो अस्मिन् लोके वेदेश पुरुषोत्तमः यो मामेव असम्मूढो पुरुषोत्तमः सा सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुप्तमां तां दृष्टार्थम् इदं मुक्तं मया नघ एतद्वा बुद्धिमांश्च तत्कृत्यश्च भारत हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Let me tell my prayers before I start anything. Mirandasya Jnananjalashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा thank you. Firstly, I need to thank my leader His Grace Mathurapati Prabhu and other senior leaders here who have given us also a chance to purify myself. I know I don't have any qualifications. It is not customary. I'm really making a confession here. I need all your blessings so that I could glorify a great devotee, Ambarisa Maharaj today. Hare Krishna. So, the moment we say Ambrish Maharaj is very enlivening, very enlightening, because the entire episode is so beautiful with uh, what happened with great devotee, Mahabhagavata devotee. Okay, but what we will do today is that I thought I will share a few qualities in the process of knowing what Ambrish Maharaj, how was his pastime and everything. So immediately when we think of Ambrish Maharaj, because remember he was, as Parikshit Maharaj had asked and Sukadeva Goswami was narrating, that he ruled the entire world, the seven islands, though he had all the opulence, inexhaustible opulence, did not care for anything. So, which means he was very detached. So, the immediate quality which comes into our mind is Yukta Vairagya. So, he had best of the kingdom, best of the wife, all the facilities, but he did not have any attachment to this material wealth. Okay, because he clearly knew that it was a cause for degradation. Our the moment we say Amrisha, we remember the current situation. Our Srila Prabhupada was a wonderful devotee called Amrisha Das, now who is probably our Kali Yuga avatar, we can call it, if I may say. So you all know who Amrish Das is. Alfred Ford, again comes in a very high lineage, very opulent family, known for the same reasons. That is, he is also very detached. He's performing his work just as a position given to him and performing his duties with equal detachment. We all know who he is. He's probably the highest donor for a temple of Vedic planetarium. Not only him, I can remember many other. We can talk of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. We were told that he came from very opulent family. Even Radhanath Swami, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, by our own Gurudev too, came from very opulent families. So this very quality of Yukta Vairagya is shown by everybody. They had such great backgrounds, industrial fathers, but still kept themselves detached and performed their duties with their actual constitutional position. Now, we know that in great detail, Srimad Bhagavatam 18:19 and the 20th verse described, Shukadeva Goswami is described in these three shlokas very nicely. Savai Mano Padara Vindayor. So there we all know that Amrish Maharaj used every of his senses, whether it is a mind which is always meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, his words were always describing the glories of the Lord, hands in cleansing the temples, ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or is about Krishna, eyes were always seeing the beautiful deities, okay, and going to Krishna, many other places like Mathura and Vrindavan, touch by embracing the bodies of Lord's devotees. He was touching the lotus feet, always embracing devotees. Smell and smelling the fragrance of tulsi offered to the Lord. His tongue was always tasting Krishna Prasadam. Legs were walking to the holy places and the temples of the Lord. Head always bowing down before the Lord. So his desires were only in a way serving all the time the deities, 24 bar 7, which means he never desired anything for himself or for his sense gratification. Engaged all the senses in various devotional arrangements related to the Lord. This way, he increased his attachment to the Lord. He was completely free of material desires, which means he was only fulfilling the desires of Krishna, right? So the moment we hear or we talk about this pure devotee, we immediately know that what his love for Lord was immeasurable. Now, how do we, at least me as a neophyte, a beginner, focus on this, and how do we achieve the love or do the same services with love? So, as a conditioned soul, as a beginner, we may not have the same level of love for Krishna, such an exalted devotee as Ambarisha Maharaj. But we have to start doing the services, engage our services. Maybe it is a garland, or maybe given cleaning the temple, or cooking, or many other services, how the temple is allowing us to do in this such a wonderful place here. So by doing that, we may not still have the same kind of love. Our mind will be still deviated, but at least our senses are engaged in doing the services for the Lord. So by doing this, sometime we may not reach that Smaranatmika Bhakti yet, but constantly doing the services with the association of devotees, one day even the mind also will start thinking about Krishna. So, here back to Ambrish Maharaj. His consciousness is what I would like to spend another minute. He was doing all these royal activities with the consciousness that Krishna has given me this service. So I'm just taking care of my citizens, right? So it was more like a responsibility, uh, and showing exemplary consciousness of that of a devotee, right? So we all know what happened once in Mathura on an Ekadashi, and his queen very nicely observed the entire vrata, made all the donations, gave cows to Brahmana, and after all that, it culminated in an Ekadashi and a Dwadashi. So they had to fast for 3 nights and did a Mahabhisheka, offered clothes, everything else, as I said. Then, as you all know, that when he was just going to break the Dwadashi, so our great dear Durvasa Muni arrived there. So again, he welcomed him, offered him a seat, glorified him, and then uh, obviously offered him, saying, "Why don't you join us for the Dwadasi Vrata?" So he very nicely accepted it, and he said that, "But I need to go and refresh myself, finish my bath." So here is what we need to focus on. I mean, the next quality I would like to bring in is Amrish Maharaj's quality personified, right? So we will see how this entire fast, what is the dilemma he had, right? So while Durvasa Muni had gone and taking time, so there was this specific time, like how we all know that Ekadashi has to be broken the next day with a specific time. So since the time was exceeding, he had taken prior permission of all the Brahmanas there. He knew that he has invited a guest. So without guest honoring, we cannot honor. So, but then he had to break it. So he broke it with taking some little water. Now, Durvasa Muni is a yogistic yogi. Through his yogic power, he came to know that this person is broken, or rather, he felt that he had transgressed dharma. What did he do? He criticized Ambarisha Maharaj like as if he was a non-devotee. How dare you do this? How dare you break you invite me and you didn't even you didn't even wait for me. So then, as he's known for his anger, he uprooted his bunch of hair and created a demon to kill Ambarisha Maharaj. I mean, that too, it is a fiery demon. But the quality which we need to observe here is Ambarish Maharaj did not get perturbed at all. He did not move an inch. He just simply said, if this is what Krishna wants me to undergo, fine. Amazing display of tolerance and fearlessness, right? He said that he could have counterattacked the Brahmana, but he did not, right? He just stood there as if it is the last day. I definitely recollect in our Sunday Bhagavatam, one of the speakers was talking, which happened in somewhere in another country. There was a set of book distributors who are going, and some countries it's banned, right? You cannot publicly do all this. So this couple of young devotees who are doing book distribution came under a gun. So they said, "You cannot be doing this. We're going to take your lives," right? So what did these people do? They showed this exemplary quality. They said, "Anyway, this is going to be our last day." Kept the bags. Come on, let's lift our hands and chant Hare Krishna. At least we'll go back home, back to God. So this is this quality which he had. That is complete surrender, complete dependency of the Supreme Lord. Anyway, now, what happened? So Ambrish Maharaj had created this demon. But do you think Lord is going to tolerate this? Never. Lord Krishna does not tolerate offense to his devotees. Right? Okay. So suddenly what happened? Sudarshana Chakra of Lord Vishnu came and burnt this into the fiery demon into ashes. Now, as I was saying, devotees might still tolerate demonic people. Remember, Arjuna in the beginning was saying, "I will not kill Duryodhana, I will not kill Karna, whatever, all this because they are end of the day family members and things like that." But Krishna said, "No, they have offended my devotees." Okay, we need to be very careful when we deal with Vaishnavas. Why? Durvasa Muni had committed a great sin. And imagine that that fault-finding mentality, huh, punishing, that to kill a devotee, absolutely unpardonable. Actually, Padma Purana refers to 6 different types of Vaishnava aparats. I'll just read them. One who kills a devotee, one who blasphemes a devotee, one who is envious of a devotee, one who fails to offer obeisances to Vaishnavas upon seeing them, one who becomes angry with a Vaishnava, and look at this, one who does not even become joyful on seeing a Vaishnava. These 6 classes of foolish men who blaspheme Vaishnavas go to worst kind of hell. And now comes this bonus. They go with the generation of their ancestors. So this is what Padma Purana says. So we know that finally Narada Muni, Durvasa Muni had to take shelter of Ambrish Maharaj, right? So Krishna does protect the devotees, no doubt about it. Ananas Chichintaman, he says, other one more place we can find in Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya Prachijanati, Name Bhaktya Prayachati, right? And he also goes on to say, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshasami Masuchaha. I confirm, I kind of protect your devotees. But here, this is the difference between a yogi and a Vaishnava, right? So what happened? Ambrish Maharaj, I said, did not move an inch. He did not even seek help. If we take a case of Gajendra, what happened? After his long fight, he gave up. He definitely was asking for help from the Lord. But in this case, though he was in a situation like this, put in a situation, he said, if this is what Supreme Lord has arranged for me, so be it. Now, how immediately the situation changed. The moment Sudarshana Chakra came in, who was fearful? It was actually our great yogi. Durvasa Muni was now fearful, obviously, because he has seen Sudarshana Chakra. This is the difference. Why? Because of his anger, he got into this trouble, right? So, who was running now? It was Durvasa Muni who was running from pillar to post. He went to places, oceans, different planets, even went to heaven. Sudarshana Chakra chased him everywhere. Why? Because he was just facing his own reaction. Now, he went to Brahma. Now, Brahma told him, look, I myself need to give up this body, right? Vishnu, when he vanquishes, everybody gets into this creation. Now, we all have to surrender to Vishnu. So, if Vishnu has decided to kill you, what can we do? We are all not independent. The key word he used, we are all not independent, including Lord Shiva. Kind of gave him a hint, don't go waste your time there. Okay, so he in fact said that though Kapila, Narada Muni, all this great exalted um, uh, sages have mystic powers, we can never compete with the Lord. We ourselves are covered in Maya. Okay. Anyway, now Durvasa Muni luckily had the ability to enter Vaikuntha. So he went there and realizing that Brahma and Shiva had already said no, he said, now you're my ultimate. They all said they're dependent on you, you need to save me. He went to Vishnu. Do you think Vishnu was very happy? No. What did he say? He said, I am also not independent, I am dependent. On whom? On my devotee, he said. Remember, aham bhakta paradino, right? Shadubir grasta hridayo, bhaktir bhakta janapriya. Now, who not only said I am completely under control of my devotees, he said I am not at all independent because wherever my devotees are devoid of material desires, I sit in their core of their hearts. Now, what to speak of my devotee? He says, even those who are my devotee of my devotee are very dear to me. Now, this is where Durvasa Muni was completely bewildered. So he said, because I am under my control, I am not dependent, I am under my control of a devotee. Then, so this is where when we need to be called the devotees, apart from the external cleanliness which we have, we definitely need to develop some internal cleanliness, right? Devoid of all pride, envy, lust, greed, anger, all this, if we are removed, immediately this place becomes clean. Now, Krishna loves to stay in those places which is clean. He doesn't like unclean places. Now, how do we clean here? Right? Only by chanting and through our nice attentive hearing, thus our hearts get clean. Now, in this verse which I quoted, he says, Sadhu is very dear to me. Okay, even my devotee of my devotees, that is why Srila Prabhupada probably made more devotees and sent them to Golok Vrindavan. Why our dear Guru Maharaj now is not thinking more devotees, he's thinking of entire Bangalore city. He said, make Bangalore city and the first Krishna conscious city of the world, so he can send all that, so Krishna can enjoy more with devotees. Okay, so Vishnu said, don't waste time here. Please go take shelter of Amrish Maharaj. Now, Durvasa Muni, now, it was like one small crash course given to Durvasa Muni. So he was trying to give him a difference between a Vaishnava and a Brahmana here, right? So Vaishnavas, when he was put into trouble, did Amrish Maharaj get afraid or fear? He said he was not attached to his body even. Whereas he told him, look, who is running now? When it comes to death for himself, he was running behind places to save himself. So devotee is never attached to material things. Okay, and if in case still we are attached to material things, Lord will have some special mercy. Somehow he ensures that he takes away that also. And then so that the devotee can come back to him. So what did he say? He said, you affected a devotee who's in my heart. Okay? Which means Lord said, I am in a devotee's heart. And which means devotee is very dear. So he was indirectly telling him that Durvasa, you try to attract Vishnu's heart. Like you are going to kill Ambrish Maharaj. I am there. You're directly trying to attack me. So if you want to ask for forgiveness, it is not me because I am not in Vaikuntha. I reside in my devotee's heart. Okay, please go there. Ask for forgiveness from my devotee because I am staying there. Now look at the challenge which our Durvasa Muni has got. Even then, he is still not able to digest the fact that how can a Kshatriya liberate me? Okay, this is where his ego, the true ego and false ego, comes into picture. So the quality we are going to see is that uh, how ego is still there. Somewhere he is still identifying himself. I'm a Brahmana. Huh? How can So whenever we also come into a situation where we've been given a service or we've been asked by a senior, and when there is sometimes a junior just probably joined and he gives some suggestions, you suddenly think, "Oh, how come he couldn't do that? He's just a junior, I'm a senior, or I'm initiated, he is sheltered." All this comes into picture. See, the point is that if we know that we are going to serve, we are taken up this entire service, first we need to understand what is the service, what are we doing. By doing this, is my leader pleased, is the yatra leader pleased, and finally is our Guru Maharaj pleased. If that is sent, keeping Krishna in the center, how does it matter who's giving the suggestion, as long as the suggestion is going to help do the service better. So this ego is something which we need to convert it from a false to a true ego. Okay, so Durvasa Muni's pride of being a Brahmana was still bothering him, right? So finally, after explaining this, he said, my Ambrish Maharaj did what he did is because he is not doing on his own. He is getting inspired by me. Lord is giving the inspiration for the devotees. For any of his actions, it's the Lord who is the inspiration. Explained to him. So finally, when Vishnu explained this to Durvasa Muni. Then he told him, look, you don't even know. You got angry without even knowing knowledge of Shastras. You go down and learn from my devotee. He will teach you what is Shastra, what is Dharma. Because Shruti says, drinking water is equal to eating or non-eating. Okay, he has equally respected a Brahmana and a Dvadashi Vrata. Right? What have you done? You, having been a Brahmana, did not show the quality of a Brahmana. You have shown anger. Quality of a Brahmana is being gentle, right? He cannot, show anger like this. So he had to give a crash course and tell him that you did not anyway display the quality of a Brahmana. So you better go ask for forgiveness. So um, when power is employed against a devotee, right, it generally does not harm that person. It actually harms the person who employs the power. Here is a clear, example of what happened. Even if you take Hiranyakashipu, the more and more he was offending, he was accumulating more and more, trouble for himself, right? Every time he tried to affect Prahlad Maharaj. So Durvasa Muni, though not convinced, he finally did not have any other option but then come and ask for forgiveness to at the lotus feet of Amrish Maharaj. Now look at the again another complete surrender quality of Amrish Maharaj. Now when Durvasa Muni came back finally, right, and asked for forgiveness, what did he do? Amrish Maharaj was feeling awkward. He is feeling why, I mean, he was not at all feeling comfortable. He's saying, uh, then of course we all know that a couple of more verses very nicely describes that Amrish Maharaj offered nice prayers to Sudarshana Chakra, begged that if his family is offered some charity and properly carried out all my duties, if I have done all the things right, then please use all the spiritual credits. He even says, I think, if I have been taught the way from a Brahmana, if I have done everything right, please exchange all my spiritual credits in protection of Durvasa Muni's life. How amazing! So then that is when this quality of forgiving and forgetting. I mean, how wonderful is this quality? If we could have this quality, we all wear a chanting bag. If we could develop this and wear it around our necks, how beautiful this entire place will be. Imagine if all of us serving with the same, because all of us can make mistakes. We know that it's a package, right? To wear this, one of the committing mistakes is one of the four packages which the moment you're born it comes with. Knowing this, we still keep having this the fault finding attitude. If we could remove that, have this attitude, have this beautiful quality, Vaishnava quality of wearing this forget and forgive, which this Amrish Maharaj, I mean, imagine all this has happened and he's still unperturbed and forgiving by what? By giving up all the credits, spiritual credits which he has earned. So that was amazing. I thought that is another quality which we could spend time on. So, as I said, destruction and protection. Most of the times, powers to protect are superior than the powers to destroy, right? So, if you have demonic, arrogant person, generally employ all these powers to harm, but a simple, noble person like Ambarish Maharaj employs all his powers to protect. As I said, he had all the powers then, but he did not counterattack. He just said that if if this is what Krishna desires, I shall accept it. So, selfish, egoistic persons do not, utilize the power for destructions. But whereas uh, persons like Ambrish Maharaj does not use it; he uses it for protection. So these were the few qualities which I wanted to share with you all. So just to summarize, clearly Ambrish Maharaj used the Yukta Vairagya. He had a wonderful kingdom, family, beautiful wife, everything what is opulent he had, but he was absolutely detached, did his services like a protect his prajas, citizens. Consciousness was great. Then we learned about his the forgiveness, the difference between a yogi and a Vaishnava, how his forgiveness was, the quality of being forgiveness was upheld even by Vishnu. And last but not the least, difference between, I mean, how he displayed his complete surrender, uh, being one of the other qualities. So, Thank you very much. These are the few points which I had uh, listed out today to share with all of you. Uh, if I have made any mistakes, committed any errors, kindly forgive me. And please, I'm willing to make the corrections if it is any. Okay, thank you for patiently listening to me. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. I invite any comments or if possible clarifications. I'll try to give a reply at whatever is best known to me. Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you. Yeah, he told Sudarshana Chakra. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. How we can build such mood? Okay. Okay. Uh, Prabhu's question was Ambarish Maharaj gave away all the spiritual credits. So how to develop that mood? Am I right, Prabhu? Am I understanding your question? So I heard in one of the lectures that for all the how questions, right? I think it was Radhanath Swami Maharaj, if I'm right. So we need to, three things, Prabhuji. We need to keep hearing from pure devotees. Okay. So hearing from pure devotees means first preference is your Guru, Gurudev, and then other senior Maharajas. So by constantly hearing, definitely our consciousness elevates. Now, the second one is association with devotees, right? Here, most of us keep thinking that anyway, I'm part of them, I'm associating every time with devotees. Association has got a specific few lines, Prabhuji. I've tried to again, just being with devotees is not association. Association is respecting a pure devotee, right? Which means hear attentively from that pure devotee, and if he's giving some suggestions, actually implement it, right? So, and then definitely as a part of this, you have to humbly serve that pure devotee. So this is another set of three things. What is association? I meant I'll go back to what I was trying to share with you. So first we said that hear from pure devotees, associate with devotees, and then definitely standing in front of the Lord and praying. That helps Prabhu to elevate our consciousness because sometimes we need to stand there and say, I can't do anything. It is, please help me. That is where we develop the dependency on the Lord, right? Most of the time, like Gajendra, otherwise we will be fighting for 1,000 years with all our difficulties. So the moment he said he remembered the Lord and just gave one, everything was sorted out. So sometimes include a prayer also, probably. Best I always do, even I'm not fit enough to pray here, I ask other devotees to pray. So best is to ask devotees to pray. Of course, we ourselves also to have to develop the prayer mood by end of the day, saying, "You know me best." Probably Ishopanishad 18th chapter verse is the best prayer I could think of. Hare Krishna. Trust this clarified, Prabhu. Any other doubts, clarifications, or you could add also, Prabhuji? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Powers to kill. Yes. Correct. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. So we can end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you again, all of you, for patiently listening. This was my first class, so I don't know how nervous I was. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please bless me so that I can keep doing service. And please, my leader, Grace Mathurapati Madhusudan. That way, all of us, we can in line, do our services to our Gurudev. Hare Krishna.